So, if you're an educator, I know I don't have to tell you about the absolute heavy lifting that goes into lesson planning, right? It can feel completely overwhelming. You're staring down this massive list of unit requirements, just racking your brain trying to figure out how to translate all of it into something your students can actually grasp. While today, we're going totally back to basics. We're diving deep into learning targets, what they actually are, and exactly how you create them straight from the standards. Think of this explainer as your simple, no-nonsense playbook. We're going to clear out all that noise and walk through a highly structured, super effective way to build these targets without literally losing your mind in the process.
So, when you sit down to plan a brand new unit, you're usually hit with this absolute mountain of overarching goals. And honestly, unpacking these standards is where the vast majority of us immediately get stuck in the mud. We tend to way overcomplicate the whole process just because we want to be thorough. But hey, thorough doesn't have to mean convoluted. So, that burning question, where exactly are you supposed to get your learning targets? If you have to make the hard choice about what to cut, what to keep, and what to create, the answer is actually staring right at you. You go directly into the standards for that unit. You pull your targets straight from the standards. And that brings us to the core mantra for this entire explainer. Do not overthink it. Keep it as clear-cut as humanly possible.
Let's keep moving right into Section 2, the creation pipeline, a direct path.
Look, we need a system that prevents us from getting lost in the weeds, right? We need a pipeline. And here's your incredibly direct path. Step 1, you start with the standard. Step 2, you unpack that standard into specific skills, which are typically the teacher-facing outcomes. And then step 3, you turn those exact skills into learning targets. That's the relationship. Standard to skill to learning target. Boom. Don't add unnecessary steps. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just move directly down this line.
Now, while you absolutely shouldn't overcomplicate things, you still have to use your professional judgment. Most of your teacher-facing skills are already incredibly well written, but sometimes they just have a lot going on. When that happens, you might need to break a really complex skill down so it's actually helpful for the kids. On the flip side, sometimes you'll find so many fragmented skills that they feel overprocessed. In that case, just combine them to make them more approachable. A fantastic example from our sources is telling time. You don't need a separate target for I'm learning analog time and another one for I'm learning elapsed time. You just combine it into one straightforward statement, I'm learning how to tell time. Break it down or combine it, but always stay empathetic to your own workload and, of course, your students' capacity. Just keep it simple.
Section 3. Verbs make the target. The rule of action.
Okay, the absolute crucial point in crafting these targets comes down to the verbs. Just look at this stark contrast here between unmeasurable and measurable actions. When you're pulling statements from your standards, you have to ensure the verbs dictate exactly what the student will do. Please avoid vague words like understand, grasp, or learn. You literally cannot easily measure if a student actually knows something. And for sure, avoid that overly fancy phrasing, demonstrate an understanding of, which is really just a dressed-up academic way of saying understand. Instead, rely on strong, measurable verbs. Things like explain, describe, identify, analyze, synthesize, or create. We want clear, observable action.
I absolutely love this quote from the source material. You could seriously just put an I can in front of a skill. Don't sit there and rewrite the whole thing. Seriously, please do not play the exhausting game called I can come up with a better verb. If you already have a solid, observable skill and you just throw an I can in front of it, you succeeded. If it feels that easy, it's because it really should be. Use those I can statements, attach them to your measurable verbs, and just keep moving forward.